We are officially here. John Cena is a heel. I did not think we would see the day. We talked about it a little last week when I had an inkling that this could happen. John Cena being a heel during his farewell tour is it's an interesting call. I didn't know how I felt about it until we actually saw it, and I was like, no, this was the right call.
Hmm.
Cody is incredibly over, and if you want the dynamic that you can get out of two of the biggest stars of their generation going up against each other, this is that same feel of Rock coming back, and the audience was against Rock when he came back, when Cena was the guy, and when Hollywood Hogan came in and Rock was the guy. The same kind of dynamic.
Yep. Yeah, there was. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I thought it was really good execution. I thought John Cena played a great role, and this is a monumental moment in WWE history. This is their biggest babyface of the last 20 years doing that. That's what I thought was the most interesting, Phil. You want to talk about over. How over do you have to be to get the biggest baby face in 20 years to turn heel? That's how over Cody Rhodes is. Cody Rhodes is so over that they were like, we have to turn John Cena. That's how over this guy is.
Did it 2 years in a row. This guy was so over last year that they were like, nope, we don't want this Roman Rock match. Boo the Rock. And
Boo
people
the
booed
Rock.
the Rock.
People
And
are like, yeah, we don't like the Rock. We like Cody.
the same thing happened here. I saw where some people after the show were like, I don't know if this worked. People very much were booing Cena on SmackDown.
Yes.
This is working. That guy is over.
Yes, Cody is so fucking over, and that's why this works so well. Like Cena couldn't have. They've been trying to do this actually all the times that they've talked in history about John Cena turning heel, but there was never any guy that would get that could be on the other side to get people to buy into this. And the reason that they bought into this is because Cody Rhodes is such an over fucking babyface that only heel that could play against him is John Cena. The only way that the dynamics could work is him turning, which is insane for Cody, insane for John Cena, insane for The Rock. I think that everybody played a good role. Like Travis being there was weird and didn't make a lot of sense for the story. But like I was saying about on Blue Sky, in 20 years when we're watching this and Travis Scott is in this footage, that's going to be hilarious.
Yes. Yes. Um, yeah, I don't want to get into some of the takes I've seen other people doing of is this the greatest heel turn ever? I don't think we need to do that in a moment. I think that this was a great moment. I think it did exactly what WWE wanted it to do. That clip of Triple H getting on a jet and he's saying transformative weekend for this industry. And this definitely feels like a massive moment in the pro wrestling industry because this is a guy that stood above this thing as a baby face for, like you said, 20 years
Mm-hmm.
turning heel. We're never going to see this again. We're never going
No,
to see anybody
you can't.
stay baby face this long and turn. We're never going to get that kind of moment again.
You can't. There's. It's not possible in the climate of today. It's not possible in the climate of where wrestling is in this business. Like it's just you can't fall into a position. It's like the Undertaker with the streak. Like you'll never be able to have that streak because now you're gonna know. Like it was just happening and it was just a thing. Like if you try to do it again, it's never gonna work like it does. So for John Cena to happen, I will say I don't think I think it's the biggest WWE turn ever, and that's because Hogan happened in WCW, and that's the biggest turn of all time. But I do think for what WWE is, there's not another one for John Cena like this. Like this is insane. But I don't think we should compare these things, and I think people jumping immediately out the window was what they should do. But like this moment is massive. Like they're going to be talking about this for the rest of time. The fact that there's so much history of like when The Rock did come back, there was real heat between him and John Cena. Like these fools are really beefing. Like they were really talking shit to each other on promos on TV that we saw. Like there was real heat there. And for them to go from that and John Cena being like, you left the business. You don't care about this. You're a movie star. For him to become a movie star and then they connect all that and have them together, like it's insane. Like it's a like I don't know how they got here, and I don't think it was been a plan for the last whatever years, but they lucked into some really good shit, Phil.
Yeah, I think everything you're describing is why the idea of John Cena selling out works because I've seen people say it would have made more sense for Punk because Punk has been this anti corporate counterculture guy for most of his career. Um, and it's not as drastic for the guy that was the handpicked guy from the office to then be a corporate guy now. But I think it's different because, like you said, Cena was the guy at one point trying to protect the roster from what he's become. He was
Yep.
the full time guy saying, like, no, you guys get to go away and do your movies and then come back and have your moment and leave again. I'm not going to leave. I'm staying here. And then he turned exactly into what he's complained about with The Rock. He went away, came back, got preferential treatment to get his way into the chamber match, and then he won. And then you side with the guy that you trashed years ago for being a Hollywood guy.
Yeah. Which is like, it's hypocritical, but like if you're a heel, then that's amazing. Like you said, I wasn't gonna do this. You're dumb. I can't believe you would do this to the wrestling business. And then to do that and then the side with the guy you complained about as a heel, that's great. That's amazing. I like that makes more sense for what John Cena is and what his character is. And like I think having The Rock as the catalyst makes it even better. Like you could have did this Cena turn without him, but like The Rock being the one, like I couldn't get Cody, because that was a funny thing too, Phil, of people being like, well, why would The Rock even offer the spot to Cody if John Cena was going to be the thing? I'm like, well, that's to throw you guys off and to throw Cody off for when John Cena turns on him. Like if it was always a plan for The Rock, he's going to try to convince Cody as a bit that it's going to be him, but it was never going to be him.
Yes. I think that the Cena was always his ace in the hole.
Right.
And that changes so much of what we saw from the entire time that he started this farewell tour. I don't know how long it's been planned, but even going back to the way the Royal Rumble went and Cena being one of the last guys in the Rumble and Jey Uso won. And I'm sure people can go back and go, okay, well, why didn't he turn heel before that? Because Jey Uso's family. He's not going to do that to Jey Uso.
Also, it could be, this could be deep into the woods. Hey, if it comes down to you and Jay, I'm The Rock. Hey, if it comes down to you and Jay, maybe Jay's the one.
Yeah. But I think the other great thing about this turn and what makes it so believable is he came into this year, first Raw on Netflix of the year, saying, I haven't won a match in all this time. I keep losing. And so all of this stuff getting up to this point and even getting to the end of this match, yeah, you took shortcuts because you keep losing. You can't win on your own. And so, yeah, you won with help. And even getting this situation you're getting into this position with the biggest, most powerful guy in this company backing you.
Mm-hmm. Like he's a part of the board now. It's not just The Rock, your coworker. Like it's The Rock who's on the board, who has pull, who could do these things. I think that's a really good story for John Cena too. Of like, I haven't won. I need help. I'm gonna go get. And if anybody can get help, I could get help. I'm John Cena, so I'm gonna go to The Rock for it. Like, if that's the way to turn him heel, makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. He's older now. He's in there with all of these young, hungry guys, and he's getting left behind. You're not Cena that you were 10 years ago. So you can't just come back and show up and win without being here. All of these other guys, no, I've worked all year to get a WrestleMania match. You can't just pull up and just beat me. And I think that also plays into the stuff with Punk because Punk is more hungry than him because he's never main evented WrestleMania. This means more to me. So you gotta throw the kitchen sink at me to get me out of this ring.
And then Cena just came and did exactly what The Rock did to Punk in 13, is he came and just took his spot and he didn't have to work all year for it. He just comes in, wins a match, and then that's it. A lot of layers to this.
Very well executed. I thought that this ended up being the best option for this. I think this feels like a huge WrestleMania match. This WrestleMania build needed a big moment like this because, as much as people like Jay and as great of a role as Gunther's played, that doesn't feel like a big centerpiece for WrestleMania. No. This feels like the biggest match you could put on this card.
It would have been, without the Cena turn, it would have been huge. But with the Cena turn and how I've seen it in media this week, Phil, legit on every outlet, people that haven't watched wrestling in 10 years are talking about it. They're like, I can't believe this. Like, people that barely know, this is still a big deal to people who barely know, just because that's how monumental this John Cena shit is. So like, it was gonna be big, but now it's gonna be gigantic, you know?
Yeah. Shannon Sharp talking about it, Stephen A
Right.
talking about it in our first take, all of this stuff. It makes it feel like an even bigger match. And if you're going to try and top the stuff last year of Cody trying to finish the story, and the story you're telling this year of Cody coming into WrestleMania as champion and how heavy that crown is now and the stuff you got to do to hold on to it, that's a great story to tell.
It is. It is.